Germany is sending Lord of the Lost with Blood and Glitter to Liverpool this year, but will they be getting lost somewhere at the bottom of the leaderboard? Let's review Eurovision. So that's a bit of Germany's Eurovision entry for this year. What do we make of it?
I really don't know. The problem is it's not bad. There's nothing about it is bad. It's all good. Every element of it is good, but there's nothing great about it. In no single way is it stand out. So I think it's, again, I preface this every time we do like a rock or metal song review. It's not my type of music. I don't listen to this outside of Eurovision. I just don't. So there's a limit to how much I'm going to like something like this. And it's just, it fills a space, to be honest. Is it Germany's best entry ever? No, far from it. But it's among the better things that they've sent in the past few years. It's a vast improvement on last year. I don't feel like, to be fair, I quite liked I Don't Feel Hate. Hands up. 2020, they were robbed that they didn't get to send Violent Thing to Eurovision because that was brilliant. Sister, this is better than that. This is, in the scheme of Germany, this isn't that bad, but that's not saying that much because Germany's record isn't fantastic. So it's an improvement for Germany, but as I say, it's good on a lot of different levels, but it's not great on any of them. And I think it'll struggle to stand out.
See, that's interesting because I think it depends. Obviously, Germany's straight through to the final. It depends kind of where it's placed as to how much I think it stands out against other kind of rock songs. Because I think if you compare it to something like Finland is much better. But that being said, I was really pleasantly surprised when I listened to this. It's kind of so, considering last year Germany sent the most generic pop song they probably could have sent. And compare that to this year, where it's kind of quite bonkers and kind of heavy metal-y. It's, it's complete polar opposite. So I really appreciate that they're kind of sending something completely different. It's fairly kind of audience friendly, heavy kind of rock metal as well. I think, there is kind of some screaming in there. And I'm intrigued as to how screaming will go down at Eurovision. We don't see it too often. But yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see what they do in staging as well. I think it's one of those entries where there is potential to kind of do more. And I just actually hope Jodie puts in the effort with it this time. Because the last few years, you're right, it's the best thing they've sent for a good couple of years. So we shall see. Obviously, it's straight through to the final. How do you think it's going to do, and where would you rank it?
I think, if I'm honest, it would be unfair if this is in the bottom 5. I think it could happen. It depends on the running order. I think it would be certainly very, very, very unfair if this was last. Really, that's not on. There are plenty worse songs that would be in the final than this. But I struggle to see it doing massively well, because again, this is what I mean when I say it. It does. You raise the comparisons with other songs this year. Finland or Australia. It's similar to that. There are quite a lot of male rock acts and male rock groups this year. There's no shortage of them. You've got Ireland as well, but there are, and Slovenia as well, like an indie rock. There are a lot. There's a lot of this year. And when I say it's good but not great, I sort of mean it not only in the sense of sort of as a piece of music, it's good on every single way, but nothing great. But I also mean in comparison to the field, because it's so chocker with rock songs this year. almost everything about this has been done better in a different song. So it doesn't stand out. And I think when you've got, I mean, Slovenia is definitely going to go through. Australia probably going to go through. Finland contending for a win. It's already immediately one of 4 songs that are in this belt in the final, and it's going to struggle to stand out. It really will. So I think it would be. It might. I think my instinct is saying it's going to be bottom 5. It's unfair if it comes last because it's not bad. It really isn't bad. My personal rating is a 6 out of 10. Again, it's a vast improvement on what Germany normally sends. So please, I like the enthusiasm and the effort that they've put into this, but yeah, not quite there yet.
Interesting. I feel like you're being slightly pessimistic. I definitely see it doing. I take the point of, there's other songs in that ilk which are probably slightly better, but the grand final, I prefer it to Australia. So I'd kind of ideally put it above them, and then I get that there's kind of other kind of boy bandy things, but I think this kind of is distinct enough from ones like Slovenia and, well, there's no chance Ireland is going to be. It's going to be in that
they're not
final.
going to be troubling the final.
Yeah, they're not going to be bothering. So yeah, I kind of see probably the bottom end of mid-table, but I don't see why they couldn't get a kind of 15th, 16th type position. I hope they do that well. Maybe I'm just appreciating it more because Germany usually sends stuff that I don't like very much. So maybe I'm being overly optimistic. For me, it's a 7.5 out of 10. Do you quite enjoy it?
Yeah. I think,
but we know I love a bit of rock Eurovision. That is my vibe. You
do. I think you're sort of right when you say. I get what you mean when you say it's going to finish lower mid-table. The sort of 15th to 20th sort of band. But I think that's almost going to be the quirk of the system this year because they're added up. I think it's probably going to come around 17th or 18th with the juries and with the televote. But when you add it together, because there's going to be quite big disparities, I think, this year between what the jury's like and what the televote like, that it's going to sink. So it's going to do okay with both, but then it's going to, when you add them together, other songs are going to pass it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it has potential to kind of basically just fall through the cracks because it does kind of average with both.
Yeah, if it sort of averages out, it'll sort of fall down the middle and end up going bottom 5, is my view. But we'll see. That's what we think. Do let us know what you think. You can like, comment, and subscribe. And when you do subscribe, hit the bell. You'll get notified every time we upload new content. We've also got our podcast versions. So if you don't want to watch us and Emily's shaky camera footage, they're just like Blair Witch Project over there. Then you can listen to us as a podcast form, and we're also on Instagram at Eurovision, so do give us a like and a follow there. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.